Okay, students, so I'm going to be talking about your next project, which is called Stippled Bugs, or it's just going to be an ink drawing of bugs. This project is not a super long project, which I kind of planned that on purpose because you should have just finished the selfie project, which does take quite a bit of time. So this one's a little bit shorter. The learning objective for this project is that students will understand and recognize the elements of art and principles of design. Students will engage in art analyst discussions. So that's just a fancy way of saying that you're going to use the elements of art and know how you're using them. And then on the lesson outline, we have the project overview. We're going to do a little activity with lines, specifically creating different types of lines with ink. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then you're going to do an ink value scale because there's lots of different techniques that we can use to make values with ink. And when I say ink, I typically mean pen or marker. Typically, we use either regular Sharpies or fine point Sharpies, which fine point Sharpies are basically like pens anyways. And then I'm going to have a bug drawing demo where I show you how to draw different types of bugs. And I'm going to do different types of bugs because you guys are going to get to pick what type of bug you draw. And then once you have that picked out, you're going to start with a sketch. So I want you to show me what bug you're going to draw and what you want it to look like. And then once I've approved your sketch, you're going to start with the actual drawing. So you're going to draw your bug in ink. So it's good to sketch sometimes. That way you can have a plan for what you're doing. And then as always, you're going to have the artist statement at the end where you explain all the steps you took to create your project for me. See, I have the supplies down here at the bottom. So you're going to need a blank piece of paper, a pencil, eraser, and a black pen or marker. That's up to you. You can use both if you'd like. Okay, so we should know what value is. It is an element of art, is the lightness or darkness of something, and value is used to create shading and the illusion of depth in art, and that is the main way that we use it in our artwork. So we're going to be using ink to create value, and ink is just one of the many different art mediums that we can use in drawings. Okay, so like I was saying, there's different techniques to create value with ink. So you notice on this side of this image, these are darker and then they get lighter. So my basic tip for this is that the more lines there are, the darker it's going to be. So see, there's a lot of lines here, so it's darker, and the less lines there are, the lighter it's going to be. Pretty simple stuff. So hatching, you just got straight lines. They all go in the same direction. The more you have, the darker, less lighter. Cross hatching, it's just crisscross lines. Stippling is dots. And then one that you may not have heard of is scrumbling, which is basically just scribbling. So these are all creating different values, dark to light, but because you can see the direction of the lines and the types of lines you're using in each of these different techniques, they kind of create a different feel when you use them in artwork. So these are some examples of some ink drawings of bugs. So you can see that there's lots of different ways that you can draw a bug, lots of different bugs you can draw. Like I said, you're going to pick out a bug to draw, you're going to sketch it, and you may want to find a photo. I highly suggest looking at a photo. And then once you have it drawn out the way you want it, you're going to go over it with ink and add in all your shading and detail with ink. So you can see this ladybug, they're primarily using stippling. So you can see up here on the top where the light's hitting it, it's lighter. There's like a shiny piece of the bug, and then down here at the bottom it's darker, so that's in shadow. So if you're having trouble deciding what areas need to be dark and what areas need to be light, I suggest looking at these examples that are actually done in ink because that'll help you decide where you need to shade certain things darker or lighter.